Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's IELTS analysis class, where I'll be going through a task that you have been looking at from the Facebook group and providing answers to help to, in this case, expand your vocabulary. So we were looking at some keywords, we had verbs, and we were tasked with finding the noun and adjective forms of these verbs. And in so doing, we can take what was initially 8 words and we can expand them into 24. So this is a really useful technique when it comes to improving and developing your vocabulary. It's to form different grammatical parts of speech from the initial words, and forming nouns and adjectives from verbs is quite a common practice within the development of the English language, and so this is a fruitful area of study. So if you are watching this class live, then let me know in the chat box, say hi, and if you have the answers to this task as well, then please share those in the chat box as well. So let's go straight on to have a look at the task together. We will see that we have the task just here. There we go. So we should be able to see this on the screen now. And these were the initial 8 words that you had, and the job was to develop nouns and adjectives from those words. Welcome to the class, Shadeen and Samson. Samson from Tanzania. Both of you are very welcome. Shadeen, you have your exam next week. I want to advise you to use the resources, if you're part of the Kinetics group, to practice with your study partner and to pay attention to any words, any new words which you were not aware of in this class. Best of luck, Shadeen, for your exam. Okay, so first of all, then analyze. Noun form would be analysis. I'm just going to underline the stress here, the initial stress, because if you're using this for speaking, it's important to be able to pronounce the word correctly. So the initial stress is on the first syllable. It switches to the second syllable with the noun. And the adjective form would be analytical. And so the stress actually switches to the third syllable in this case. So from analyze to analysis to analytical. So well done if you got those correct. Moving on to have a look at the next word, it's attach. Okay, Zakia, this is IELTS Zakia that we are looking at right now. So if we have a look, attach, the noun would be attachment. So the stress remains on the second syllable. And the adjective would be attached. So again, still second syllable stress in this case for the adjective. Okay, so how did we do with that one? Did you get that correct? Hopefully you did. Hello to Nimra. Welcome to today's class. So the next one we've got is connect, and the noun would be connection. So from connect to connection, you see the stress is still on the same syllable, the second syllable, and the adjective connected. Okay, so those would be the answers there. Next one we have is emphasize. So from emphasize, we get the noun emphasis. So the stress stays in the same position, first syllable, and the adjective would be, we've got emphatic. So here, the stress actually changes to the second syllable. Moving on to have a look at interact, the noun interaction. So from interact to interaction, the stress stays in the same position. And the third syllable. And then the adjective would be interactive. Again, the stress remains in the same position. So how are we doing so far? We're seeing how we're generating these new words. You should notice some patterns as well, some common noun endings, ment, shun, these are common endings. You've got cis as well coming up, and some of these common adjective endings as well with ed, ive, cal, ic. These are common ways of recognizing nouns and adjectives. Okay, so looking at the last three. So require, can anyone guess this one? It would be require, requirement. So again, stress remains on the second syllable, require, requirement. An adjective for require. Has anyone got the answer to this one? We can say that something is required, a required object. So again, the stress would be on the second syllable. Stress for the noun, actually in this case stays the same. There's no change from the verb to the noun form. That stays the same. What about the adjective? There's more than one possibility, but I'll go with the two most common forms. You could use stressed, so with the ed ending. It's also possible to form the word stressful. So someone can be stressed, a person is stressed, a situation would be stressful. So in this case, make sure the spelling is correct. So in this case, we stay with the first syllable. All the other words are just one syllable, but in this word, we stress the first syllable. Okay. Well done, by the way, to Dolly, Nimra, Shadeen. Good. You've given the correct answers there for the adjective forms. And what about the final one then? Vary. So the noun. What is the noun for vary? We can definitely say it begins with a V. Any suggestions? Okay, so it's shun, variation. You talk about a variation. And you can see that the stress has changed from vary to variation. The stress here now is on the penultimate syllable. And for the adjective, we've got a few options here. Any suggestions? Well done, Shadin, for that one. Yeah, variation. And the adjective would be, there's a few possibilities. Varied with that IE, with the ED ending. Variable is another one that's quite common as well. So those are the two most common adjectives. If we use varied, then the stress will stay on the first syllable. If we say variable, the stress also stays on the first syllable. Okay, so those are the words that we should have gotten for this task. Well done for those who got the answers correct. We've also got a suggestion of variety. Yeah, variety is definitely possible for the noun form. We could add that to our list. So let's do that. And in that case, the stress also shifts. So it goes from vary to variety. So the stress is here. So good suggestion there, Dolly. Okay. So thank you for all those who were watching the class live. You're very welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for participating in the class today. And best of luck in your studies for the IELTS going forward. Take care.